The average family uses up to 1.2 billion meters of plastic food wrap a year. We use plastic cling to wrap our food for a quick temporary use. That's such a waste of money and plastic. 1.2 billion meters would be approximately 3,287,671 meters per day, 136,986 meters per hour, and 2,283 meters per minute. I don't think even massive manufacturing companies use that much. Yeah, don't you just gotta love it when you have a point you want to try to put across to other people, but it gets beaten by grade school math. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going to be going into r/QuitYourBS because there's been a good amount of these videos on the internet. I figured I might as well dip my toes into that waters. So hopefully this is the first of many videos that you guys would be supportive of, and hopefully I would be able to do more of these in the future. So you know what you want to do? Hit that like button, leave a comment down below about stuff you would want to see in the videos in the channel in the future. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications. Alright, let's go. I'm a world-class surgeon. In my professional opinion, it looks like you have oxidative lymphatic stress syndrome, OLSS. You will likely lose the limb. I'm very sorry for your tentative loss. I don't want to seem to be rude, but I kinda don't believe that because you're not verified and everyone is saying pretty much the same thing, but you're saying something completely different. If you can, please tell me more. Edit, I checked your profile and you're literally asking about an ankle sprain, which is something you should know if you're a medical professional. Another edit, from that subreddit you're in, I see that you're in medical college, so please make sure you know everything before telling people stuff on this subreddit. I could give people a lot of anxiety and scare them a lot. Yeah, not only are you getting disproven of your own medical stuff while you're in medical school on Reddit, like seriously, why are you even on Reddit? Did WebMD close down? Did not enough people get cancer from, you know, bug bites? Made a bookshelf for my brick collection. This is an artwork by Dominique Gonzalez Forster. Yeah, you know what's even worse than being beaten by grade school math? You know, it's getting beaten by Google image search. I've worked as a dominatrix and as an escort, and my saddest experience was one of my submissives. I saw this client a few times. He was morbidly obese, but very intelligent, funny, and had a successful career. He was heavily into receiving pain, and our sessions were on the more extreme end. Afterwards, he'd want to cuddle and chat and laugh. One day after our session, he told me he was finally retiring and going into solo travel and have some experiences. Not long after, a coworker who was a friend of him outside of work told me he had passed away. Based on the timeline, I doubt he ended up vacationing. I've had other clients who were depressed, in bad marriages, or unhappy with their lives, but he was the only client that I'd known to have passed away, and under such sad circumstances. Strangely, exactly the same reply as here from another user 2 years ago. Don't ask me how I found out, LOL. But you're just fishing for karma. No, that was also me. He died twice. 1 star. I was referred to the shop from a person that lives in the city of Columbia, SC. I personally would not refer anyone to this shop. To whom it may concern. Above, you will see my original post. Had a starter replaced at $105 per hour, 3 labor hours. After the starter was replaced, the shop called to say that the battery is dead and needs to be replaced and installed. The battery was an interstate battery that has a cost of $188. and a cost of $105 a 1 hour to install. I had the original starter put back on the car, which I was able to purchase and supply my own OEM part. I had the old starter tested at Advanced Auto Parts on 2-notch. I had the starter tested at AutoZone at Hard Scrabble, and the last place I had the starter tested at was at the Mercedes-Benz dealership. All 3 places had a bench test of pass and or good. After I completed all of these things, I called the owner of the shop on his cell number on a Sunday and explained to him what my concerns were. Keep in mind that the owner was on his honeymoon the day the vehicle was towed to the shop and repaired. He said for me to come into the shop and on the following Monday and he would look into my matter and that he would test the starter. I asked for the cost of the labor back from the starter replacement, as since I show proof that the starter is good. Keep in mind, I had the bench test on video from Advanced Auto Parts and AutoZone, which I showed the owner. He did not test the starter. He offered an oil change, which I declined. He did not offer to put the old starter back on the car. He said that the only way to tell if it's a bad starter was to have the old starter back on the car to see if it would start. In conclusion, the shop never provided any proof that the starter was a bad starter, and the shop kept the battery and the core charge. The final bill had no reflections of where a core charge was ever refunded for the shop taking possession of the original battery. Response from the owner. Oh, here we go. We replaced starter and battery. Customer was allowed to bring their own parts. The first starter was the wrong part. The correct part was brought in. We replaced the starter, car started, but battery was weak. Customer was advised they needed a battery and it was approved. The bill was paid and the vehicle was picked up. Next week, the gentleman calls, stated he had a starter bench tested. The starter did kick in and out. A customer felt the vehicle only needed a battery. Starters may have bad spots on armature bushings or brushes. Keep in mind, there is no load on bench test. Also note the battery was an original from 2011. As Goodwill, we did offer to reinstall his starter, or as a Goodwill gesture, oil and filter change value of $145 retail. Mr. Dude was a representative for the customer. They declined our offer. Car's fixed and we made the right diagnosis. We are very, very sorry about this situation. But remember, this all speculation from customer. It is Royal Automotive Tech's hope that this review will not deter you from calling or coming in to do business with us. Thank you. Breaking news. Video game players are urged to play at reasonable times to avoid putting an extra strain on internet networks during the virus's outbreak. Online gaming is the biggest threat to internet bandwidth these next few weeks. No. Video games use around 50 to 75 megabytes an hour. Streaming on Netflix uses around 3 gigabytes an hour for HD video. To put that into perspective, Netflix uses more than 30 times the data that video games use. Okay, there will always be somebody that tries to blame the world's problems on video games. It's always the video games, ain't it? Hey, Jacksonville, can't wait to open our doors to you and your family. The American flag is supposed to be flown higher than any other country's flag here. Our flags are flown according to the United States Code. When flags of 2 or more nations are displayed, they are to be flown from separate staffs of the same height. The flag should be approximately equal size. International uses forbids the display of a flag of one nation above that of another nation in time of peace. Title 4, United States Code, Chapter 1, Section 7, Position and Manner of Display, Subpoint. Keyword, you got owned by IKEA. Rural China versus rural America. Rural America is a truck stop by a major highway? The good old going out of your way, finding a really good example of one thing and then a really bad example of the other thing, and then saying, yeah, they're on the same level. I'm sorry. John Carpenter would have been 70 years old today. We celebrate his birthday by looking back at his 5 favorite films. The Rotten Tomatoes, despite how it appears, I'm actually not dead. I honestly never really taken Rotten Tomatoes seriously. It's more so just a joke for me, because of the 2 scores, you can get very different results, because there are people that pay to be there, and then there are people that are paid to be there, and guess which one is the movie you like? Like, seriously, I liked the Venom movie a lot, but the Rotten Tomatoes critic score gave it like a 20, while the audience score was like a 75 or 80 or something like that. Bottom line, you spoiled yourself, Rotten Tomatoes. Gotta love people in this town. You haven't talked to them all for 10 years, and still they try to tear you down because you're doing better than them. Not sure what they get out of it, but all you can do is keep doing what we do, making people happy, and time will show what's the truth. Appreciate everyone who sticks by us. Hey, remember that time you called me a fat little FB when I said hi to you at the carnival? Good times, lol. Yeah, no, this is quite literally what I want to do when I go to my high school reunion, whenever that is, and whenever I actually give a darn. Like, seriously, I'll have of people saying, hey, how you doing? It's been a while, and here's a handshake, and it's like, nope, nope, you treated me like trash in high school, I do not want to do that anymore. And with that, that is going to have to be the video. If you guys want to see more Quit Your BS videos like this one here today, be sure to hit that like button and leave a comment down below, help to push it in the algorithm, because I would love to do more of these, and the videos doing well give me the motivation to do so. If you guys, be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.